Don't let people lie to you. There's a lot of people who lie to people about living abroad. When people see people that live abroad, especially in Western countries, they think everybody is rich and everybody's living an amazing life. That's not the case. A lot of people, especially our African brothers and sisters, when they go abroad, they go out there to work and earn, money to help their families back home. Put it in context, right? I've seen people living better lives, like in Africa, than a lot of people that I've seen living abroad. And I think, in my own opinion, I think people are more happier in general in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, I'm here for like a month or 2 or 3 months, so I always feel like I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking, I have to make the most of it.
How would you say your life would be if you never went to London? It's definitely a reason why you go back and forth, Uganda and London.
Yeah.
So putting you on the spot, if you only had to stay in one place, where would that be? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Queen Desta, and today I'm excited to bring to you another episode of Buna with Desta with an amazing vlogger, YouTuber, content creator, Times London.
What's going on, people?
Yeah.
Time London, and here with the Queen again. And yeah, it's always cool meeting. Like this, my second time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The last time we met in Ethiopia, and now you're here in Kenya.
Yep.
How has travel life been?
Travel, it's always good, to travel. I mean, the more you travel, the more it opens your mind to new things.
Yeah.
You get to experience, a lot of things. You get to meet, obviously, interesting people.
Yeah.
And experience different cultures. So it's always great, especially going to new places. This is my first time here, so.
Yeah, so take people back to like a backstory. I know you're Ugandan.
Right.
Yeah, so where were you born? Uganda?
I was born in Uganda, and I left for UK when I was really young, and basically grew up in the UK with my family. But obviously, as you can see, every chance I get, I always rep my motherland, Uganda. Yeah. So yeah, grew up in England, but I studied up there, and then when I finished uni, I started traveling back to the motherland. So now that I do YouTube, whenever I'm in Uganda, I kind of like use it as a base. So when I'm there, I try to go to different, African countries from there. So last time, obviously from there, I went to Ethiopia. Yeah. This time, Kenya. So maybe next time when I'm there, I might go to maybe like Rwanda or something else, some other countries I want to travel to. Yeah.
What made you wanna come back to like visit Uganda? Because there are some people that once they leave their country, they only come for like a very short visit and not as frequent as you do.
But with me, like even growing up, right, our parents used to always tell us, look, they always used to remind us where we're from. So we always were reminded about our background and stuff. So I always knew when I finished, because my parents used to always travel back and forth from England to Uganda and stuff. So, but with me, I always knew that after I finished uni, after I completed my studies, I would always want to go back. So it was always in the back of my mind. And when I did finish uni, it was the first country I literally traveled to when I finished. So, and so when I went back, because remember, like I said, I left when I was really young. So going back when you're like a young adult kind of thing, it's a whole new experience. And when I went there, I was it was eye-opening and stuff like that. So I got to fall in love with the place. Yeah. So every chance I get, I always go back.
Okay, can you sell Uganda in this aspect that made you fall in love with it?
Well, before all of that, before I even talk about Uganda itself, I mean, look. Come on. Yeah, so anyway, now Uganda, you know what? Uganda in general, like, first of all, the Ugandan people are very welcoming. We're laid back. And I'm sure there's similarities and differences regarding people from different African backgrounds. But Ugandans are very laid back, caring, welcoming. And obviously, when you talk about the country, the weather is very nice, tropical weather. Amazing foods. What else? I mean, apart from the food, the weather, the people, I mean, the nightlife is amazing. For somebody like me, especially who likes to have, a good time to party. Nightlife is amazing. A lot of, theme parks as well. You can check out some wildlife while you're there. I mean, a lot to see, a lot of amazing islands to visit. So there's a lot to offer from the amazing country, a lot to discover. So check it out when you have a chance.
So I definitely know that you have met people that are in Uganda that are like, they can't believe you're coming back and saying you have fallen in love with Uganda, especially considering you got the chance to live in London, right?
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Yeah, it happens a lot. They like they'll ask, oh, hey, what's like? Do you know the crazy thing is?
Yeah.
Before I even answer that question, they don't believe I'm Ugandan.
Oh, okay.
They never believe I'm Ugandan.
I mean,
you know, you get all sorts of guesses. I mean, when I'm walking, like say like downtown Kampala or whatever, you always get people guessing. They're like, oh, you hear America, you hear, and the crazy thing is, they never really guess England. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
It's always like,
so it's not
America.
even the accent.
No, it's not like me talking to them.
Oh, it's just you.
It's just me walking past them.
Okay.
They're like, oh, you hear them whispering. Oh, he's those Americans. He's American. And the crazy thing is, apart from that, until I tell them, they will ask you, hey, bro, where you from? And I'm like, I'm Ugandan. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I'm Ugandan. So it's hard for them to believe. But when they always ask me why I go back, I always tell them the same things. I'm like, hey, look, this is my background, my motherland. I still have a few relatives here, and I'll always come back here. And if it's up to me, if I was to retire anywhere else in the world, well, England is always like in my heart. But if I choose somewhere to retire, obviously, with the weather and all of that stuff, we don't have no winter in Uganda. I'll choose Uganda. So, yeah. But to add to that, when I came here, the craziest thing is I don't know what it is about Kenyans. I've loved you guys and your country so far since I've been here. Okay. What is it with you and Nigerians? Everywhere we go, right? Like whether it's here in Nairobi or in Mombasa, straight away when they see you, you know what they say straight away?
Okay.
Oh God.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what makes you think like? Not that I've got anything against
maybe your
Nigerian
tools or something like this because maybe your outfit, I don't know, I can't necessarily
I don't know. Or maybe, like there's a huge population of Nigerians that visit Kenya.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm guessing, because when I was in Mombasa, I actually run into a lot of Nigerians there. So I can understand that. But everywhere we went, me and my bro, they were like, they think we're Nigerians. So I don't know if there's any Nigerian that looks like me. But I ain't gonna against my Nigerian people. But like it's just like they wouldn't think I'm Kenyan. But straight away Nigerian. I'm like, no, I'm Ugandan. Actually, like what? Even here people don't believe I'm Ugandan. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So maybe I have to wear my Ugandan colors a bit more.
That's why you're
even though I always wear my Ugandan.
But then still they don't recognize. The funny thing that I learned as we continue going to different countries, that we also don't know about different countries. Like for example, someone is hard before they see your outfit, as clear as it is, they might not recognize that it's the Ugandan flag and stuff like this. Wow, so there's need for people to continue consuming more content, and if you did wear an American shirt like this, everyone
they'll recognize it straight away, right? Yeah, they'll think, oh, you're American. Yeah. But that's what it is. So that's why, like subconsciously, right? People might I love wearing hats in general, but I don't know if my people have realized, probably now they'll realize it more, they'll notice it more now when I mention it. I'll wear Ugandan hats on purpose, so that like even with like this shirt, like obviously it looks good and stuff, but I do it on purpose so that everyone, like when I was a few days ago when I was in Mombasa, we went to a restaurant in Diani, and then there was a Ugandan guy, but he came over to say hello to me because he saw my Ugandan hat. He was like, oh, I've got my Ugandan people. I'm like, yes. So if I wasn't wearing a hat, he wouldn't know, because he even said to me, he's like, you don't look Ugandan. I was like, I get that all the time. So me wearing these hats when I go to places, even when I was in like Pakistan or India, they're like, bro, where are you from? Because my hat's turned the other way, and I'm like,
it's Uganda.
Oh, Ugandan. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Promoting,
Yeah. I'm learning to appreciate more from where we come from, and also being so proud about it, and like walking around with whatever can represent whatever you're coming from. Anyway, you've now experienced 2 different countries, African countries apart from Uganda, right? What would you say about your experience? How has it been? How are the people? Is it different? Is it the same?
Of course, like there's always going to be similarities and differences. But when I went to obviously first when I went to Ethiopia, amazing country, man. Amazing food, even though obviously I don't like spicy foods.
Yeah.
We worked it out in the end. So, but amazing food. Obviously, the culture is amazing.
Yeah.
The whole thing blew my mind. You know, the fact that it was never colonized. So there's so much culture there. But you know, you meet like a lot of friendly people. A lot of people are friendly, even though communication was a bit tricky because the majority of people that I met, you know, couldn't really speak English.
Yeah.
But they were still helpful. They were being able to help you when you needed help. So when you talk about infrastructure and stuff, Addis Ababa is a cool city. It kind of like it's kind of similar to Nairobi. Both of the cities are well, you know, developed. With transport, it's easy to move around, navigate around. Accommodation, amazing hotels, amazing places to stay. So, and as I was vlogging most of my videos, when I was walking through uptown Nairobi, I was like, yo, this reminds me when I was in Addis Ababa. So there's loads of similarities in terms of development and stuff, in infrastructure and transportation and stuff. And obviously here in Kenya, what I was really impressed by, the way they enforce the law. Like, for example, some places borders can't go through. And comparing that to Kampala, I mean, borders don't listen to nobody, they go everywhere.
Okay, that as well.
Yeah, but here, we're coming from Gikomba Market and we're going somewhere else, uptown. The rider of the border went through a certain section he's not supposed to. They stopped him straight away. And he even said himself that, hey, I know I wasn't supposed to go through here, but I'm just taking him somewhere. So they enforce, so even when you go to a supermarket, to a mall, an exit is an exit.
Sure.
Entrance is just entrance.
This is not the case in Uganda?
Listen, in Uganda, in Uganda, they'll try to enforce but like, cars will go through one way in Uganda. I mean, not everywhere, but so you can get away with a lot more in Uganda than here. Here, obviously, the food as well is great. I tried out ugali, sukuma wiki, and nyama choma. But in general, both experiences have been great. And when I left Ethiopia, if I had more time, I would have stayed longer. Same situation here. If I had more time, I mean, look at the weather outside.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree.
So both countries have been great to me. Thank you, people. And people have liked my vlogs so far here in
Kenya.
And people love my vlogs when I was in Ethiopia as well. So thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell us something about London that we don't know.
Well, London is literally a very, very introverted person.
Really?
Very. I'm literally
really
very, very. Before I started,
you don't look anywhere close to introvert, but okay, take it.
That's the thing. Before I literally started making content, I was literally a very, very private person. I was even on social media. I never really used to post too much. Once in a while, but obviously, as you know, once you get into content creation with promotion and all of that stuff, you have to kind of like be more.
Open up.
You have to open up a bit more and be more, you have to have more presence on social media. So maybe you didn't know that I'm really reserved person. So when I'm not vlogging or when I'm not traveling, I'm literally very, very, I wouldn't say boring, but I really I'll spend 2 days in the house just watching sports or Netflix.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
Does not look like you, because I think is let's go out, let's go Nairobi has to offer stuff like this.
I do actually like to party a bit when I go to different places. When I'm in Kampala, hey, listen, I'm on holiday, so. Oh,
so you consider you coming to Kampala as holiday?
Yeah, it's. Okay. I look, it's home, but I always look at it like it's holiday. So I can be like, I want to go to America. But in general, what you see on TV is not the reality. Here for like a month or 2 or 3 months, so I always feel like I'm running out of time. So I'm always thinking, I have to make the most of it.
How would you say your life would be if you never went to London?
I could never. I think it's one of those things where you never know. Maybe I would still do. I think I would do the same things, like from in Uganda, I would have done the same thing up to like maybe like my teenage years, because obviously I would have been in school studying and stuff, and then I don't know, maybe I wouldn't. I probably would have been in sports still, because I used to play sports when I was younger. So I don't know about this whole YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I would have got into creating content and stuff, and I don't know if I would have got to travel.
Do you think you would have desired to move abroad? Do you think that would have been something that you would have wished?
When you're young, you don't really think about it like that.
Okay.
Because when you're young, you're just thinking about, like playing with your friends and, going to school. So when you go abroad, it's like it's a new thing, but you don't really look at it like that, like,
Go abroad and
you don't think about it when you're younger. But the older you get, and especially when you start traveling a bit more, and you start seeing how different countries are, how people live in different countries. So then maybe you start to appreciate maybe living abroad and experiencing that kind of culture. You get to appreciate it a bit more, and then obviously you get to really appreciate your homeland a bit more as well, because you start noticing, like, look, this is our home, and there's a lot of things that we have that European countries don't have. So
definitely without well, there's definitely a reason why you go back and forth, Uganda and London.
Yeah.
So putting you on the spot, if you only had to stay in one place, where would that be?
Wow.
Either London or Uganda. No one's gonna judge you. It's fine.
Nah, I'm thinking. Well, okay. Business-wise, because I still have a business in London. So business-wise, obviously, not like in a bad way, but obviously we all know like Western countries are kind of like, especially with the dollar and the pound, they're a bit more powerful than our currencies in Africa. So when it comes to business, I'd prefer to trade abroad.
Okay.
But lifestyle, 150% lifestyle living, of course, in Uganda.
So now you're torn between the two. Now you have to make a choice.
True.
So
it's true.
You only have a choice to choose the business or the lifestyle. Which are you gonna choose?
That's the thing, though. But if I have a business in Uganda, if I set up a business in Uganda, or if my, amazing viewers choose to, support me more on my YouTube channel, and I move to Uganda, then I'll live in Uganda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I know I can always, visit England and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So definitely, if I was to choose where to live, definitely Uganda. Definitely, and not only Uganda, Africa in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because I see myself, if it was possible for me to, live in Kenya, I could. If it was possible for me to live in Ethiopia, I could. I mean, you stay there for a while, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, amazing. So this episode is called Buna with Testa. Buna is an Ethiopian word to mean coffee. Unfortunately, we're gonna get coffee. I'll put B-rolls of us having coffee at some point today. And the other is called Desta. Desta is my name, which means happiness. So I love to ask, are you happy? And what is your definition of happiness?
I am definitely happy because I'm healthy, and I'm fortunate enough right now in my life to kind of like do what I want to do. I can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I want to go back to England, for example. Or I can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I don't have to go back to England. I can stay in Kenya for another week. So yeah, definitely I'm happy because one, I have good health, which is the most important thing, and I live the life I want to live. So I get to do whatever I want to do, which is kind of like the definition of happiness, right? Doing what you want to do.
Okay.
I mean, if you're living the life where you're in control, you're in charge of your life, then why wouldn't you be happy? And I get to run into queens, even though,
be nice.
even though she didn't mention anything about coffee, but, and there's no coffee here. But in general, yeah.
So now I have a question. What would be your message to, let's say, people like us that are living in London, and like two messages basically, and people of you. Let's not even talk about Uganda, let's talk about Africans that are looking to move abroad and those that are already abroad. what message would you share?
Well, I always get asked a lot especially when I'm in Uganda. As you can imagine, like a lot of people always ask me, how is it, living abroad, or how can I go abroad? My question to answer the question for people who live in Africa, why do you want to go abroad? You have to understand, your main reason why. Housekeeping. So you have to know why you want to go abroad. I mean, like I said, I went when I was young. It wasn't my choice. It was my parents' choice to move me abroad, to study and stuff. So you have to ask yourself why you want to go abroad. I mean, are you going to study, or are you going for employment and stuff? And then once you find that out, you'll be, you know what to do once you get there. Because a lot of people just want to go abroad because they watch music videos or they watch movies and they're like, I want to go to America. But in general, what you see on TV is not the reality. So you might get there and then, you might have like a, what do you call it? You might be, surprised. It might be like, what I've been seeing on TV is not the reality. So
can you give people an example of something that you saw and it's not a reality? It couldn't be you, it can also be other people when they move that they are shocked with.
Because look, when people see people that live abroad, especially in Western countries, they think everybody is, is rich and everybody's living an amazing life. That's not the case. A lot of people, especially our African brothers and sisters, when they go abroad, they go out there to work and money to help their families back home. So a lot of people who go there, especially our African people, when they go there to work. So when they go there, they literally focused and stuff like that to work. If it's a big if that's the main goal, to go and work, right? You get some obviously who go there and they want to party and stuff, live their best lives, that don't want to come back. But if you go, there's housekeeping. So, but if you go and you know what your plan is, to go for a few years, to work and then come back and invest in Africa, then it is what it is. But also for the other part of the question, people that are from Africa or from who live abroad or whatever, there's a lot of people that obviously that I know from England or whatever that always look back and say, you know what, Africa's not for me, I'm not really thinking of going back. So you get people like that who get up there, start families, have kids out there and stuff, and that's them. But also you get people like us who want to, go back to the motherland and, check, you always want to, keep the culture and, be part of it still. But you also get people who don't want to be part of it no more. And that's why for me as a content creator, when I come back down here, that's why I always want to promote Africa as much as I can. So, yeah.
Oh wow, I guess more define why you want to do a specific thing and then pursue it based on your own reason and not necessarily on what is sold, especially on TV and music videos. Yeah, anything else you want to tell people? Yeah,
don't let people lie to you. There's a lot of people who lie to people about living abroad. Don't let people lie to you. It's not all, it's not all just coasting. It's not all it's not like I've seen, to put it in context, right? I've seen people living better lives in Africa than a lot of people that I've seen living abroad.
Oh wow.
Because when it comes to lifestyle, I mean, you can earn the money abroad, but then does it really make, you're not really going to be happy because you're not going to be living the lifestyle that you feel like your life deserves. So there's a lot of people who make a lot of money abroad that are miserable. I mean, they've got money on their accounts, but all they do is pay bills and go to work. But then you get people who don't earn as much money in Africa who live a better lifestyle. I mean, they don't make, they're not as rich or whatever, if you want to say that, but the lifestyle they live is much, much better. I mean, I go to Uganda and people are living, better lives than a lot of people that I know. So, yeah.
It's not just about the euro and the dollar. No,
it's about the life you live.
It's
about the life you live. Because, what's the point of being a millionaire and you're not happy? I mean, you asked me about, a while ago, you asked me if I was happy. And the things I was able to say to you was because I have freedom of my life. Like I can wake up tomorrow and go wherever I want to go to, and that has nothing to do with money. You know, I am able to kind of like be in a position where I do what I want to do. And in Africa, people are more, and I think, in my own opinion, I think people are more happier in general in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, because you can jump on a matatu or whatever, right, and see people, you know, living normal lives, or whatever, but they're more happy. You're walking around, people are babbling, hey, how you doing, man? Where you from? Blah blah blah. In Europe, most of the times, you know, like when I used to go to work, right, when I was employed, you know, you get on the train, or even if you drive or whatever, you see everybody, you look up, you know, on the side when you stop on traffic lights, everybody looks miserable in their cars going to work, like they don't want to, like, but, you know, you get on the train and everybody's on the phone, everybody's reading the newspapers, nobody talks to nobody, you know, like, that's why I don't vlog when I'm in London, because people don't want to talk to nobody. Everybody just want to get on with their lives and stuff like that, so, yeah, man.
Oh wow, thank you very much for sharing. I hope you guys took something from this conversation that we've had. We are heading out to do some vlogging so we can bring you amazing content here in Kenya. Stay tuned, subscribe to his channel, Time London. I'm gonna put it in the description box. Yeah, I guess that's it. Wanna say bye?
Yeah, people, share, like, comment, and subscribe to this amazing content creator. She's one of, and I'm not, like, I always tell her, like, it's not because we're filming or whatever. She's one of my favorite content creators. Wherever she is or wherever she goes, I always watch her videos. So guys, subscribe and always, you know, be up to date to what she brings. She brings amazing stuff, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Otherwise, guys, always remember to create time for that which ignites your soul. Until next time, bye.
Peace.